Good morning. Oops. Let's see. Good morning, Steve. I'm coming to you from Casper, Wyoming. It's June 26, 2020. It's a really nice day out there, a little cloudy. And anyway, today we're going to talk about keeping your mind on what you want and off what you don't want. So, most people, a lot of times in their lives, they'll find themselves getting stuff they don't want. They just keep having repeated things, maybe accidents or something that happens that they don't really want in their life. They have the same kind of arguments or anger with other people, and they don't want that, but they find themselves continuing to get that. And what that could be, and probably is the fact that you're not using you're using your thoughts. If you really go back and look at it, you're using your thoughts to probably create that. And so what I want you to do today is think about what you're thinking about. So what that means is that probably whatever you get are you getting in your life, whether it's let's say it's anger and resentment, that's probably where your thoughts are going. You're probably, a lot of people that have, I knew a lady that had a terrible resentment against her father for something he did. And, sometimes you can say people's thoughts are written right on their faces. And she had bitterness and resentment and anger written on her face. And when you talk to her, it just came out of her. I mean, it was almost like an aura. Even when she entered a room, I believe that people have auras that go out 20 to 30 feet around them. And so when she walked into a room, you could just feel it. You could feel bitterness. And it was like almost like those thoughts were transferring. And, I didn't want to be around this lady very long because she was so bitter and angry and negative that it actually, you could feel it, and it made me start to think about things I'm resentful about and ungrateful for. And so this is what we talk about, keeping your mind on what you want and off what you don't want, realizing that you do have control over your own thoughts. But it also is very important that you hang around the right people. Most of the time when you find somebody that's gotten in a lot of trouble, maybe they're in jail, and you really get down to it, you find out that a lot of times, maybe most of the time, they're there because of the people they were associating with. They were around people that had a mindset of, I'm taking that's mine, I'm stealing it. And then they hung around those people long enough, and they got to thinking like that. So you do have to be careful who you're associating with, that you don't you don't let that, because that will have an effect. And in I guess in that sense, when you're around someone that's bitter or anger, or in a position of wanting to steal or wanting something for nothing, and just in that state of mind all the time, when you're around those people, you will begin to think like that. And then trying to keep your mind on what you want, you'll think what you want is that, and it's really not. It's really not. You'll end up with it, and when you get to a time of quietness, when you can really stop and think about it, you'll realize that that's not what you want. You don't want that in your life. You don't want. Your results will reflect that. You may be in jail. You might be in a position where you've lost everything, and it might not just be financially and things. It might be relationships. You might find yourself in a position where you've lost all of it. So wherever you're at in your life, I want to give you a little bit of encouragement and hope here, that even if you are in that position, if you just realize that you have control over your thoughts, and no matter what happens, when you emotionalize a thought, so in other words, you get energized about it and enthusiastic, and no matter what it is. I mean, I knew a guy that he would get emotional, enthusiastic about the thought of his health not working right. He has got a heart problem, he had more life in him with this heart problem than he would on anything else. And so I think you got to be careful where your thoughts go. Make sure, be excited about being strong, and use your I ams. Give yourself some affirmations every day. I am strong, I am healthy, I am what you want, not oh, I am so tired. I am energetic, I have plenty of I have I sleep well. I'm very healthy. Say all those things. Say the positive stuff. Keep your mind on what you want. Your I ams will dictate where your life's going to go, and so be careful what you say and where your I ams are. Keeping your mind on the things that you desire in your life. Uh, I am a winner. Don't say I'm a loser. Sometimes people in our families that don't understand this, maybe a father or a mother might say things over your life that are affecting you, and it might have happened 20 or 30 years ago, but you can change all that. If you had a father or mother that said, I don't like you, I was, you're no good, you're a loser, then you can change it and just say, that thought doesn't have to remain with you the rest of your life. So anyway, hopefully this is an encouragement to you today. Keep your mind on what you want and off the stuff you don't want. Your mind is very powerful, and it will dictate your outcome and what you have and what you begin. But the neat thing is that with your imagination and your mind, you can imagine the worst, or on the other side, you can imagine the best. If your mind, I heard somebody say that your mind can make you sick, and it's pretty much agreed today, and all the doctors and stuff saying that your own thoughts can actually make you completely sick. So on the reverse side of that, then your mind can make you well. So you can be healed from things that don't. My back is been, probably if I'd have gone to a doctor when I injured my upper back a couple of years ago, he would have wanted to do surgery, and I imagine that back would be healed, and today it's completely healed. So it can work both ways, but you have to keep your mind on the things you want, and don't let your mind wander off to the stuff you don't want, imagining the worst thing that could possibly happen. Use your mind in a way that you can imagine actually the best thing that could possibly happen. And it does take some discipline and some work to do that, because sometimes everything in your life will look like it's just falling apart and nothing's going right. And those are the really important times to stop and make sure that your mind is in the right place. So anyway, I'm going to end this a little early today, and hopefully you can get a little bit of what I'm saying here is keep your mind on the things you want. It's not, I'm not asking you something that's easy here, but it is possible to do this, and use your imagination to make that happen. So have a great day.